Hello friends, welcome to automationtalks.com. Myself Prakash Narkhade, and this is video 3 of this Selenium tutorial series for this data driven testing, that is data driven framework. This is part 3, which is in continuation with part 1 and part 2 of this data driven framework and Selenium. Okay, so till now I have explained about what is data driven testing, how to create folder structure, then start with actual framework, and then we have created page objects, configuration properties file, test data, then basic syntax for this login test, then we have selected a browser, then we were reading a properties file, then we have created a base test which will execute before method and after method, that is before and after my test case. Now the big task is have to read a Excel file. So this is my Excel file in which I have given my username and password, which I will use for my data driven test, username and password. So my task is to use this username and password. Now how to do that? So to do that, we will use Apache Py, which is an API which support Selenium and Java. Not Selenium, it is Java API, right? So how to do that? So for this, it is a quite big code, so instead of writing the code, I'll just copy it from my blog and I'll explain you. So you can find it here in Selenium tutorial. Go to test automation framework, then go to data driven testing framework, and you can find all the codes over here. Sorry. Okay, so this is the one. So I'll just copy this and I'll explain you all. Let me just import the things. Bear me with for a minute. I'm just importing the fixes. Fine. So let me explain this to you. First thing is, I'm reading a properties file. From this properties file, okay, I was getting this path, file path. So I should specify the file path as well in my configuration properties file, as a file path is equal to this Excel file path. Okay, I think I have where I've given this, no, fine. So I'll give this Excel path here, and I should replace the single slash with double slash. You can use this Apache Py, or even you can use JXL to read Excel file in Java Selenium Webdriver. Fine, so I have to specify file path. So for this Apache Py tutorial, you can find it in my blog again. Under Selenium, go to Selenium Webdriver, and at the last you can find Apache Py. So you can find here how to set up Apache Py, how to read a file, how to write file, Excel 2007-3, right? So everything you can find it over there. So Excel reader. Now I am getting the file path, Excel file path from the properties file, and I am creating a file because I am interacting with the file, right? So I have to create object of the file, and I am creating it as a source file. File is equal to new, and this is the file path which I have received from this properties file. Now next one is, since I am interacting with external file, I should create a file input stream. So file input stream is created by using file input stream fs is equal to new file input stream, and if the file is not found, I am logging the message as a test data file is not found, terminating the process. So I am getting file input stream from this constructor. Now the next thing is, as I said, in order to work with data provider, it should return a 2D array, two-dimensional object array, right? So I'm creating one method called as get excel data, and in this get excel data, what we'll do, we'll use excel workbook, right? So let me open this workbook. So in workbook, this is my workbook. In workbook there are multiple sheet. This is sheet 1, then this is sheet 2, then this is sheet 3, right? So I want to go to first sheet of this workbook. Sorry. So first I'll create instance of workbook, and then I will go to sheet at index 0. So this is sheet at index 0. If I'm creating another, this is sheet at index 1, this is sheet at index 2, right? So I want to go to sheet at index 0. So I'm going to first sheet, that is this sheet. Then from this sheet I want to find number of rows and number of columns. How to do that? Total number of rows is equal to sheet, from this sheet, and there is one method called as get last row number. So if I'm using this sheet get last row number 0 1 2, this would be an index. So index will start from 0, so 0 1 2, so it will return 2, but actual number of rows are 3, so I should give +1, right? So it will be 2 + 1 3, and total number of columns, column 1 and column 2, total number of columns is 2. So now create a two-dimensional array, string array. We can use object array even over here, because yeah, I should use object array. Fine. So object array of size, total number of rows, that is 3, and total number of columns 2. Total number of rows 3, total number of columns 2. So I am creating an 2D array of size 3 by 2. Right, now I have created an array. Now what is my task? My task is to go to each row, then go to each cell and add the data from each row and each cell into this two-dimensional array, right? So I am doing this by using this for loops. For int I is equal to 0, I am iterating it on all the rows, and then I am iterating it on all the columns, and I am getting row by using sheet dot get row at first one, right? And I am adding the value into the array at position I and j using row dot get cell dot toString, right? So for Cepher side, because if you are using this numeric and what I can say alphanumeric, then you should use multiple methods like get string cell value, get numeric cell value, get reach text cell value, right? Since I am using only 2 strings, so let me keep it as ABCD something, because I don't want to use this numeric value ABCD. You can use this, but in that case you need to use get string cell value, get numeric cell value, and all those methods, which again you can find it on my blog under this Apache Py tutorial. I'll show you how to read Excel 2007 file. Okay, I have covered only one method over here, get reach string cell value, but okay, it's there. Fine. So okay, this is how we need to do that. If cell type is numeric, then something different. If cell type is string, then get string cell value. If it is numeric, then cell dot get numeric cell value, right? We need to use this. Since I am not using, I'm converted this to strings only. Fine. So and I will return this two-dimensional array, right? So this is how I can read this Excel file. Now I have done most of the things. I have created Excel reader, which by using which I'll read this Excel file, and now my task is to create my login test, right? I'll create my test over here. So my test is, I have already navigated to the website by using this base test. I have already navigated, right? So my task is to click on login link, then enter email, then enter password, and then click on login button, right? This is my test case. Now for this, what I need is, I want the value of email, I want the value of password. So I will get this value from here, string username, and then next one I'll need password, right? These two things I need, right? And the driver, I have declared it in my base test. I have declared my driver over here. Now I want to use the same driver, right? So what I can do is, we can extend this, known as inheritance. We can inherit this, extends base test, right? If I'm extending this base test over here, then I should be able to use this driver now. Driver dot wait for a minute. Why I'm unable to access, where it is? Okay, I should change it to protected. Now I should be able to access this. Okay, now I am able to access a driver, which will be same as used in my base test. Now what I want to do, first thing I want to click on login link. Now the login link is present in this home page, so I will use this home page. Okay, this is not a static. Let me create this static class, public static web element, and again this string as a static, so that I need not to create objects of this particular classes. Homepage dot login link object driver, and I need to click on this, right? So what I did is, I got the login link object from this home page, and I'm going to click on this. Now next I want to enter email, so email is present in this login page, so I will use login page dot where it is, email field object, right? This one, driver. And here what I need to do, I need to send keys, and what I need to send, user, right? Because username will be in user. Next one is login page dot password field, and I need to send keys password, right? And what I'll do is, I will just wait for few seconds so that you can see, okay, it is entering the value, and then I will click on login button, which is again present on login page, login button object, and click on this. So this is my test case. I'll just remove this. Now this is my test case, and this is how I have achieved page object model, because I have kept all my objects in a separate packages. Now what's next is, to supply the data from this data provider, that is username and password from this data provider. Now how to do that? So my Excel reader is this one, Excel reader. So I should create an object of this Excel reader over here. Excel reader er is equal to, you can give some meaningful name, new Excel reader, right? And what I want to do is, now I want to return this data from this Excel reader, right? So from this Excel reader I can use this get Excel cell data method, which will return this two-dimensional array. So I can get like return er dot get Excel data. Right now, okay, that's it. So I am returning the data get Excel data from this Excel reader, this one, and the data will be sent one by one. First it will send it for row 1, then row 2, then row 3, and then each test will execute, right? So yeah, I think we are done with all. So now let's try our luck, let's run. So I have to run it by using test-ng test, right? And note that we should use our run our actual test, because I have used @test annotation here. In test-ng we do not use main method anywhere, we use @test annotation. Let us run this. Okay, the messages are printing specify correct browser. So I think I have not specified the correct browser. Let us check. Select browser, specify correct browser, that is this message. So I have to specify CHROME Chrome. What I have given CHOME, right? So I should give CHROME Chrome. Let us do again, let us run again. You can see some debugging message, just ignore this. This is a part of this configuration. It has launched a Chrome browser. It is navigating to the URL. It has navigated. Now it will maximize. Now it has clicked on login link. Now it is entering some value. It is waiting and it has clicked in. Now it will close the browser. Now it will reopen again for second instance. Can you see? It has reopened it for second instance, because I have given three username and password, so it will run thrice. So this is second time. Login. Second time is done. Now it will run third time. Can you see? It has run it 3 times, and now you can see a report over here. Total test run is 3, because I have given 3 set of test data. 3 set of test data was supplied, but can you see, only one test case was there, but it was supplied with 3 set of test cases. So that is why it is saying total test run 3, 0 failure, 0 skips, right? And a detailed report you can see over here. The first test case with this parameter, second test case with this parameter, third test case with this parameter. If you refresh this framework folder, then you can see a folder called as log and test log, right? So in test log, as I said, it will log your all messages, right? So the very first message, first time it was saying specify correct browser, right? So it will log all the messages. All these other messages are configuration related messages, so just ignore this. Fine. So it will log all the messages over here, and in test output you can see your output in index.html. just open this index.html in a web browser and you will see our execution report. Can you see the execution report? 3 methods, 3 past methods are login test, this, right? So you can see a detailed report over here. Right, so this is all about this test data driven framework or data driven testing in Selenium WebDriver. So you can start watching from part 1, 2, and then this is part 3. So what we have done is we have automated the login process of this demo web shop, and we have done a data driven testing because we have used test data in our Excel file. This is my test data, right? We have used 3 sets of data for one test case. That is our data driven testing. Fine. So, and again, if you want, then you can use iTest listener here for logging the message or for taking the screenshots. You can add those things in our framework. Okay, fine. So I think that's it I have for this video of this data driven framework part 3. For more videos, keep watching my blog automationtalks.com. do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks.